got done crying because I had a fight with one of my family members, I just wanted to come on here and say, black men and white women, please stop fetishizing each other and having children. You guys bring children into this world with no intention of actually supporting them how they need to be supported. And a lot of the times the random ass white girl that you choose to knock up is racist, and so is her family. You're bringing a black child into this world with one parent that cannot relate to them, doesn't know what it's like to be them. They're a white person, not even a person of color. And when these relationships are based on fetishes, obviously that white person has no intention of learning about black identity or doing anything to be anti-racist or support their children. It's so frustrating to have to deal with constant racial gaslighting and erasure of my identity. The constant microaggressions too, but the gaslighting is definitely the worst. And there's nothing I can do but be isolated. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go continue to be around them even though they refuse to learn and be a subject of their racism? I'm not gonna do it. Stop fucking fetishizing black men, white women, and interracial babies. It's fucking traumatizing.
All right, so what I'm not going to allow to happen here, because, the title of the video, at least above it, was that she has a message for, parents or adults that want to be in interracial relationships, right? Have no problem with that title. That's a title that basically reaches all. But then once you listen to the wording, you hear all of her anger and her aggression specifically at one person, who is her black father. I'm not even about to sit up there and have that happen. If you want to, in a sense, state that you have an issue with your dad because of this, fine, so be it. But all of that anger, all of that rage that you feel, that you face, you need to go have a woman-to-woman conversation with your mother. That's the real person who made you feel the way that you feel. That's the person that has you directly in your feelings, deciding that you want to go to social media and you want to have these conversations to everybody else and to try to tell people, hey, stop basically doing this, that, and the third. Because realistically, the same thing that everybody states, we know why it is that you as black guys want to go out here and date women of other nationalities. Just because you fetishize all of these women directly out here. You don't actually love them. That's literally what she stated. And again, she only aimed this directly at black men. And this is something that I've heard, for too long. It's as if the only people that black men could actually potentially love is another black woman. And I'm like, what just happened here? I'm like, how did we get here? How did magically everybody become Professor X? And they're like, yeah, we all know the largest secret that 100, not 99.9%, 100% of the time, anytime that a black man is with somebody else is because of a fetish. That's it. That's the only reason why. It's impossible for them to sit up there and love anybody else. I'm like, huh? People already say it's impossible for a black man to love a black woman, and now it's impossible. So it's basically just reaching, right? It's looking at everything, the whole scope. It's impossible for, realistically, if I'm looking at the whole thing on both sides, it's just impossible for black men to love any type of woman from everything that I'm ingesting, everything that I'm seeing. And I'm like, who made that call? Who said that? Who wrote that down and was like, yeah, this is something good that everybody needs to repeat so that it can become believable over time? Who did that? Who made that call? Who made that call? Who? Because like I said before, at the end of the day, the real person who gave you that trauma, who got you feeling a way that you feel, who got you online talking about it to everybody else while you're also hiding, as you initially stated, is your other half, is your mother. You need to woman up and go have that conversation with your mother. You are obviously, and I'm guessing, but looking at this individual here, this seems to be like a grown woman. If you are, in fact, a grown woman, you need to woman up and you need to go have that conversation directly with your mother. There is no reason that you're on social media having this with the whole world, letting us into your business, your family relationship, without you going out there and actively, committedly having these conversations and reaching out on an everyday basis to get some type of understanding or whatever it is that you're looking for, a resolution, some type of fix, because that's what you're looking for. Because you went to social media to see if other people also feel the exact same way. You went to social media to get some type of form of validation for your feelings in which of the way that you feel by way of the effect of the other half of your DNA, which is your mother. You went to social media before you decided to realistically go to anybody else. And then at the end of the day, the utmost wording, the strongest wording that you have was directly about your father / black man. Wow. Look at where we went with that one. Wow. But like I said before, everybody's right. Black men are at fault for everything. We are at fault for everything. So the red heifers that are going to get slaughtered, we're at fault for that. Whatever happened during the solar eclipse, we're at fault for that. The earthquake that set up that happened on the East Coast, we're at fault directly for that. Um, uh, like I said, the 85-foot waves that happened, over there in the Atlantic, we're at fault directly for that as well. And the war that is currently going on, black men are at fault for that too. Because, like I said before, I don't know what else to sit up there and tell people. I don't know what else to sit up there and do at this moment in time, because it don't matter what you sit up there and do. Supernaturally, you're going to be at fault for every single thing, even though you weren't there. And I'm like, wow. I was like, wow.
Another one.
Wait, what gives it away? Is it our deep-seated insecurity? Is it our self-hatred? Is it our perpetual identity crisis? Is it the fact that we will literally tell anyone who will listen that we feel uncomfortable in our own skin? Or maybe our familial struggles? Perpetual depression? Maybe an unalive attempt? I would agree that it probably is very obvious that we have white moms. I would say my own personal experience is that I would rather have not existed at all. Just being honest.
Like I said, I'm tired of seeing strong individuals online complaining about life. And you have all the accessibility to the things that you need in order to get mental help, in order to get whatever validations, in order to, right wrongs, and in order to have shoulders to cry on and all this. I'm tired of seeing this directly on social media. You're not going to sit up there and tell me that you got something so-called like the feminist movement, which has empowered women and allowed women to do all of the things that they said that men were holding them back from, like being able to go out and get a car, going out and getting a loan, being able to pay bills and have a house, just to be a human being, right? Just to see women get directly online and start complaining about the exact same things that they said that they fought so much for. Women fought to do the exact same things that men have been out here doing, just to come out here and complain. I don't even understand it. Just like a lot of women sat up there and said that the feminist movement is great due to the effect that it is making sure that women are empowering themselves and taking back their sexuality. Cool, fine, no problem. You said that you didn't want men objectifying you and sexualizing you and all these other. Cool, fine, no problem. I see no problem with that. But then just to sit up there and turn around and be an ordinary woman working an ordinary job, deciding that she ain't fitting the bills, making enough, and you want to go out here and start doing OF. You ain't never been in that industry ever in your life, but that was the only alternative out of all the jobs that you could have got, out of all the educations that you could have got, out of all of the entrepreneurial decisions that you could have made. You decided, hey, let me just sit up there and show off my body. The exact same thing that I fought to get away from. Wow, that's crazy. How in the world did we get here? And then just to sit up there and hear a woman get online and her mother, who was a part of the lineage, who started the feminist movement for all women directly out here in America, gets online and starts complaining, hooping and hollering about all of her problems. You got government assistance, you got government programs, you also got insurance, you got a multitude of avenues of which you can go out there and get the help and the therapy of which that you need in order to make sure that you are fine and dandy as a human being, as a person. Like I told people before, my cup is very thin at this moment in time when it deals with hearing strong, independent individuals coming out here complaining. It makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense to me. You're not going to sit up there and automatically tell me that as a woman, you are, so strong and everything like that. And then you just start breaking down. you just automatically just start breaking down. Like for both of these women here, there are so many kids out here that are from the exact same family, both a black mother, both a black father, and they go through such hardships, they go through such problems, and they persevere. They focus up. They keep going. They're not directly getting online and start complaining about one side or the other or all this other type of, they're just going to make sure that it works, and they're going to make sure whatever failed or did not go well in their upbringing when they dealt with their parents, that they're not going to carry that on to their kids. But when I look at kids like this, especially when it deals with the complaints, when it's a one-sided thing, it's always the same thing. And I'm like, wow. The only credit that I can sit up there and give the second woman is the fact that she didn't make a generalized, overreaching statement about black men. She didn't do that. She didn't have all of that, anger and, all of that stuff that you saw with the first one. Right. And I'm just going to say again, go out there and get therapy. If you can't have conversations with a person, then find you a black female therapist that'll match up with you. Find you a mixed therapist that will match up with you. Find you somebody so that you can go out there and get the help that you need so that you can become the whole human being that you are meant to be. It makes no sense to sit up there and go to social media automatically just to seek validation and never fix the problem, because the validation is not going to fix the problem. It's just going to magnify it and make it worse and showcase the fact that you are broken because you've never went out there to seek out the actual help to fix whatever it is that's wrong with you. And again, I know I listed the feminist movement directly in there. Some people are going to be like, yo, man, how did this sit up there and go left? Why did you have to sit up there? Because everything adds up. Everything matches up. Because everybody acts as though all of these things are completely separate when everything is interwoven, when everything is entangled, everything is a part of a DNA sequence. One thing leads to the other. People just don't see it yet, but sooner or later people will understand and actually see it. Like I said before, a lot of these problems, these women could actually go out there and fix, but the problem is a lot of women don't want to fix their problems. They would rather sit online and just complain about it, earn money from said problems, and create more videos just rehashing over all of this stuff and not even trying to internally just work on it by trying to use social media as a therapy session. No, it's just, all of it is just a game. Because you got to think about it. What were people doing before social media? Before people were able to just go out there and just say one thing and instantly have a platform, what were people doing before social media? How were people like this able to just make it? How did they just persevere through life? How did they just walk through all of that turmoil, all of that hurt, all of that pain? How did they do it? Like I said before, that's what a lot of people need to figure out. That's what a lot of people need to take a deep dive directly into. That's what a lot of people need to sit up there and focus on. At the end of the day, like I stated before, the main thing that will help is that if individuals out here decide to seek a relationship, love, or whatever from a whole different person, think wisely, be very careful. Don't bring children for both individuals. I'm talking about for both black women and black men. Don't bring children directly into situations that even you yourself are not educated or prepared for. That's it. It's literally, it's that simple. I'm not about this whole thing of like, oh, it's their fault, it's that. Nah, like literally, I've covered enough stories on here to showcase that it's very much equal on both sides. And I try to make everything as even as possible. But the moment in time I decide to make things equal, people run away from that equality and they scatter like roaches when the lights cut on. It's crazy.